Hey, how's everybody doing this evening? Hope everybody's having a wonderful Friday evening. Shabbat Shalom, yo. It's Sabbath. Sabbath begins Friday night to Saturday evening. It's the sunset. Apparently that's where we'll begin. The day begins at night. And I'll prove it to you. And the evening and the morning were the third day. It's always mentioned in Genesis, the evening, there was an evening and a morning, and that was the first day. There was an evening and a morning, and that was the second day. That's why midnight is in the middle of the night. It's midnight, yes, but it's midday. In the spirit, things are this way, right? But as I hold up my hand, you see a left hand, technically, or a right hand. It's facing right now. It's opposing what it actually is. This is my left hand, but in a mirrored reflection, it becomes your right hand. When you look down onto a reflecting pond, that's what you see, right? Everything's backwards. That's how it is in this world. It's backwards. The night is the day. The good is called evil, and the evil is called good here. I was supposed to come on and talk about love. I guess I found something else to talk about. So, I'll return to the regular scheduled program. Thank you for keeping me on track. Why is it that we can't be honest with each other? Let's start a dialogue. What is it with us in relationships that we just feel this need to hide? And why? Didn't anybody tell you that you were perfect the way you are? Why didn't you believe them? Right? I don't know, it's called ego. It's like the parable of the seeds in the sower. Some seeds get scattered on rocky soil, and the sun comes up and scorches them. Some, the seed falls on the sides of the road where it's got a little bit of soil, but it quickly turns to rock, clay. So it totally gets a little bit of root, and that's it. Then it comes up, and the sun comes up all the way, and it scorches it out. And so that's what it's looking like. We're kind of, the ego comes up, totally snatches it away. You're eager to hear the message. Everybody is. Everybody hears the message with the utmost care, and just like, oh my God, that's it, that's truth, that's love, that's life. I know this to be true. And yet we go to sleep and we wake up in the morning and we feel like it was just a dream. That couldn't have really happened. I'm just me. Regular old me. There's nothing good about me. Why would that happen to me? Why would Christ want me? Technically is the question, that I'm posing, but we do it within each other. We do it within our relationships, actually, is what I want to talk about. Why can't we be honest with one another? Why can't people be honest? I don't know. I totally have no urge to date anybody, but it's still like loneliness always creeps on people, you know what I mean? But got this awesome puppy to hang out with. That's what unconditional love is. Shit, man. You desire unconditional love, give it to yourself. But, when you can't find the way to give it to yourself, get a flippin' plant, get an animal. Get something to direct your affection at. Because I'll tell you what, man, it really does help. I'm like, man, I'll tell you what, this dog has literally shown me things that I never ever wanted to see in my life. That's a story for actually a video I've actually got to make, but I think I should talk to the people that are involved first. That would be really actually a lot better. So, is it that we can't be honest with ourselves? Because that's what we, when we lie, it's because we're lying to ourselves, and now exteriorly it's manifesting. So, when we jump into relationships because we want to satiate carnal desire, we have a need to fill a need. You know what I mean? That's basically it. When we do that, we deny the actual reason of why we're going to satiate this desire. Well, are you running from something, or are you running towards something? That becomes the real question within. If you ever wake up enough to question these things in your life, always question the nature of your reality. Because you create your reality. That means if you are suffering, you are the one perpetrating that suffering onto yourself. Took me a long time to see that. So, relationships. How do we choose our relationships, and how did we sign up for this suffering? Well, it was in your actions, your words, the way you chose to conduct yourself. Were you in your power? These are things that are actually going to... Actually, this is actually what's going to sum up that whole relationship right there. But it's really quite simple. Honesty begins with you. Begins with me. If I can't be honest with me, then nobody else is going to be honest with me. That's the mirrored reflection. Or there are instances where, compulsive liars literally, as long as they can acknowledge that they're lying, you know what I mean? They normally, they go through life and everybody's honest to them, you know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. But they have a different demon that goes with that. They have the demon that is literally guilt from knowing that they can never tell the truth, but yet everybody else is so damn good to them, even though they don't deserve it. That is enough to cause enough guilt to keep you from entering into the kingdom of heaven. You would literally, the gates open at death, and literally go, I don't deserve it. Send me back. Right back into this world, dude. Well, after your resting period. After you recharge with the source and go over what your life actually was, and what you planned to do, and what you accomplished, and what you didn't accomplish. It's actually quite alarming. Man, we're actually really, really great, huge beings. Immensely powerful to be able to do what we do here. I can barely understand what this place is. I don't know if I could actually put it into words to help others understand it. Not yet. I'm getting there. But relationships. Why can't we be honest with each other? We can't be honest with ourselves. How do we establish that honest relationship? I'm sorry, I keep looking down. I look everywhere. I have like ADHD, and I look everywhere trying to grab the thought from the ethers. Just bear with me. I'm with you though. How do we become honest with ourselves and with others? It took me a long time. I actually had to admit a lot of really harsh truths to myself that I'd been hiding from my entire life. That, man, I thought I had a normal childhood. That everybody's childhood was the way mine was. No. It's actually really crazy. But like, it's admitting those truths to yourself that frees you and releases you from the guilt of the trauma. Like, why did it happen? You have to understand the whys in life in order to see past it in life. A man cannot see the future. He cannot see around a question he does not understand. You can see as far into the future as long as you can understand it. But your ability to see into the future is only as great as your ability to perceive it. Healing. It all comes back to healing. Healing and hurt are both, man, they both start with H and they both feel like hell. You know, so they're both the same thing, but you gotta think about how long we spend running from things to gauge how long it takes to heal things. Some people heal overnight, and some people heal, you know, it takes a lifetime to heal from stuff. And some people it takes lifetimes to heal from some things. Holy Spirit, where else do you want to go with this? It's about not charging forward, letting thoughts blow you around, and it's about equal give and take. The Page of Swords, and three of Pentacles, or Six of Pentacles, sorry. Six of Pentacles, so you know, it's about equal give and take and not letting the wind blow which way. Casting your thoughts everywhere. And then you're just chasing them. You gotta slow down in life. You can't chase the money in life. You chase love in life and money will follow you. Chase love in life and everything that you want, you become a magnet for it. But you gotta chase real love. You gotta chase selfless love. Or selfish love. You know, I don't think love is selfish though. Love is patient, love is kind. He even tells us what love is. Love is not being sneaky. Seven of Swords. Sometimes we learn by contrast. You know, I went through life and I experienced one bad relationship after another, controlling, narcissistic people. There was one good one in there, man, but I was so messed up. I was so traumatized by childhood that I hadn't suffered. Traumatized by a relationship prior that I just, the utmost abandonment, you know, felt, you know, and it just ripped those old abandonment wounds right open. And man, it made for the biggest explosion ever in my next relationship. One that changed me forever. I'm not the same man I was then, and nor will I ever be, ever. I don't even own guns anymore. I love to hunt. I used to love to hunt. I don't even want to shoot animals. I don't even want to shoot. I feel bad for hitting the birds and flipping bugs on the road, man. What? Like, seriously? Is that traumatic? It would change, you know, really. Love isn't sneaky. I've never cheated on a woman, but I betrayed everyone I ever loved. Everyone I ever held dear. For drugs, to satiate. An addiction that comes from something else, but to satiate addiction to cover up those very things I was trying to hide, that I was trying to avoid healing. I spent a lifetime doing that. And I destroyed many people on my way. Many lives just uprooted and torn apart. Children involved. You know, it's not a good feeling to feel. Though I know forgiveness today, not from all of them, but though I know that it exists, you know, I strive for it, you know, and I seek for the opportunity to obtain it. And that's what it's about, you know, when you do wrong, when you're the sneaky one, when you find out you're the sneaky one, you just gotta own it. And yeah, you gotta eat some crow, you might have to listen to some people tell you some really hurtful things, but they're probably truth. And you probably need to hear them. To make you a better person tomorrow. It's gonna hurt at first, but you know, when you sew it up, it'll be stronger over that, like a scar forms. You know what I mean? A scar is actually thicker skin. You know, it's thinner. You know, you know what I mean. But as it actually healed, as it's actually done healing, that skin's actually tougher and thicker than what the skin is around it. It's thicker. I wouldn't say it's necessarily tougher until it actually sets in as normal. Yeah, I don't know. I got the whole physics of that. But seriously, it's thicker skin than anything on your body at the time. So, you can't be sneaky in relationships. It's what it boils down to, really. And if you want a relationship to last, you gotta invest. You gotta invest in life. You gotta set down that money tree and grow roots, yo. A good guy in my life, man, kind of treated him like crap. He told me a ping pong ball never grow, you know, the Rolling Stone never grows any roots, man, but the ping pong ball just bounces around, you know. But a Rolling Stone never grows any moss. That's true, man. And, you know, if you keep chasing it, your next fortune, your fortune is not over the hill. It's never over the hill. That's just Satan leading you off into the desert to die. If you're doing things for money, say it goes back to money, okay. If you do things for money, you're going to end up lacking it and just chasing it. It'll always be that carrot in front of you, keeping you running in a hamster wheel. Chase love. Love is within. It's the Four Swords. This is a knight being initiated into the mysteries, into the deeper mysteries of life. He's not asleep, he's not dead, he's in a meditative state. If the knight were to fall asleep, they would take his clothes and beat him. And he would not be initiated for the rest of this lifetime. That's how serious this is. You know, I mean, he'd be exiled from all the mystery schools across the world. That's Archangel Michael above him. It's like Archangel Michael, you know, before Messiah came, you know, Archangel Michael, you know, but Archangel Michael has a separate purpose from Christ. But they're both defenders. Everybody better watch out for revelations, man. That man turns from a lamb into a lion. He's no longer the sacrificial lamb. His eyes burn like coal. And he's pissed about the complete lack of love in this world, and what those who seek to keep us enslaved have made love and his words twisted to be. It's a time of judgment. If everyone hasn't noticed, the people are being judged. They're either being blessed or they're being cursed. This is the Ten of Cups. This is actually the full embodiment, complete happiness, complete love. under God's blessing. Nobody's got a cell phone in their hand, nothing. Everybody's just hanging out, enjoying the moment, in the now. They're happy to be there in that moment. There's not half of them there and half of them on the other side of the world talking to somebody. You know what I mean? They're not fragmented. They're fully in the moment, fully enjoying the now, embracing it, embracing their power to choose that. Okay. Do you want to elaborate on that, though? Or? It's the Devil card in the deck. And this represents Earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. This also... Okay, I'll pull it out. Thank you. Thank you. It's the Devil card. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. But it's toxicity. If you look here closely, these guys are chained to one another and to the devil. There's no locks on these chains. These people can be free at any time. When you allow secrets, lies, deception, false agendas, hidden agendas to be a part of your relationships, this is what you get. Because like begets like in this world. When you return evil with evil, or you do evil unto people, you shall receive in like manner. It's the Lover's card. These are the same two people, the same two lovers. Instead of the devil being over them, they have Archangel Michael over them, blessing their union. Fire and earth. This is the two pillars, Boaz and Joaquin. It's the pillars from the High Priestess. It's a different representation of the same thing, but in a different manner. But there's no chains. They're not completely connected. They still stand apart. They're not even joined in union, in holding hands or anything. Two completely separate entities. In the middle is a space to create whatever to fill that space. Between them, they can create it. You have apples on this tree. There's also a serpent climbing up this tree, if you can see it. It's knowledge and wisdom, the fruit of life. This is fire, the passion of life. There's no water in this card, but there is blue sky. There is heavens. The heavens are waters above, right? they were separated from the waters below. So I guess there is tons of water, heavenly water in this card. There's a few clouds. There's always clouds, right? There's always going to be a few clouds. There's got to be. How else would anything change? There's actually a lot to be said about these two cards right here. I don't know. Thank you, Holy Spirit. That was pretty enlightening, even for me. You have anything else you want to say about this topic? You would. You totally would. Surrender. Surrender in relationships. That's how you get everything. When you notice you're fighting, when you're fighting it, or fighting each other, surrender to love. Surrender to one another. That's all it takes. Hey, you know, if you gotta cause a fight so you can make up, you know, you better choose your battles wisely. You better know she knows. Y'all better have an understanding like a damn safe word. Banana! Oh no, that shit just cracks me up every time. But surrender. That's what's required. It's the only thing required. Surrender and understanding. Patience. Acceptance. Tolerance. Principles. Values. Morals. And ethics. It's what an honorable being is built on. Compassion. Knowing that you were once in their place too. Compassion for one another. I don't know, we're 27 minutes in. It's gonna come on. And you gotta be the king of your own fire. This totally speaks to me in other ways. I'm not gonna speak about it. But you gotta be the king of your own passions. You gotta rule over your heart. You gotta rule over your desires. Because what you own in this world owns you. If you think it's a lie, or if you think that's not true, you're gonna be sorely mistaken one day, and I hope you find out faster, sooner than later. If you chase your passions, it's going to be like chasing money. And you'll have a price to pay in the end. And that price might be greater than what you want to pay. I felt it to be too great. I'm sorry, I'm tired. I've been up. I've been sleeping in. I didn't get up till like almost 6 this morning. But I haven't been sleeping, to be honest. That Nine of Swords energy, man, that up all night thinking about things, not resting. Soul constantly wandering. Seeking for answers, you know, astral traveling. The transmigration of the soul. Okay. Alright. You guys, I'm going to call that it with that deck, because they're totally starting to speak to me about other things that I really do not want to speak about. A public video. I don't know, I already speak about a ton of things I don't want to talk about. But you guys, love is everything here. It's all about love. Oh, you know what? Thank you, angels, for reminding me about that. My father tells me sometimes what you think is love couldn't be further from it. What kind of situations do you guys stay in that you believe to be fully loving and accepting and tolerating? And how many masks do you wear? Do you have to put on a mask in front of the mirror when you stand in front of it for yourself? I found I was wearing so many different masks, I didn't know which mask to put on for myself anymore. I was beyond the point of suicide, though. I literally thought about suicide years ago when I destroyed my life and everybody else's life around me. I tried that. That didn't work. Hell, I was even a failure at killing myself. Couldn't even do that right. Man, I thought I felt low when I tried to kill myself. Man, when you think the rock can't fall further down the pond, man, like literally you just drop down the well. What else? Oh, Christ tells us that we didn't understand or accept the first one he sent us, but he will send he says the Father will send another to quench your thirst. I hope he gets here soon, because I'm ready to go. But I'm ready to stay now. And it's interesting. I've always been ready to go. You know, it's wrong for the church to tell people that heaven is all that matters. Store up your treasures in heaven. Some people take that shit literally. And they literally become homeless and don't even think about their practical life because they see no value in this world. Heaven is here. Heaven is now. It's right now. What are you manifesting in your heaven? Have you created a hell instead? I did. I've done it many times, actually. Every time I think I'm building a heaven, man, I end up finding that it was a hell, that it was just somebody else's hell, that, you know, they just wanted me in it. They just wanted me to be a part of it. And it, like, no, I'm not being a part of anybody else's hell anymore. See, yeah, and Father told me this earlier, in surrender lies victory. It always in the opposite thing. It's always in the opposite thing. You think one thing, it's in the other, but it's because things work backward in the world. It's just like that. I don't know, man. Christ led me out into like all kinds of like demonology and reading all kinds of. Well, I didn't read very many books, but I just absorbed knowledge out of everything. I pick everything apart. Everything people say. Oh, okay. Self-deception was on the other page, actually, but I'm being brought back to it. Self-deception in relationships. Man, that's even one, like, I literally just started touching on this subject yesterday for myself. But it's a real thing. And like 90% of people in this world suffer from it. Yeah, I'd actually say 100% of us suffer from this. But I know it's not quite that. I know there are people that have already healed and, work through this. There's tons of psychologists and therapists out there, so they had to have done the work, right? But I don't believe it right to be straight up charging people to heal. But man, I guess, if you got charged $60,000 to go to school every year, then you want to get paid for it, you know what I mean? In order to pay back that debt with interest and, live. But I mean, like, I don't know, it's freely given, it's freely received. It should be freely given in return, right? It's all about the good you can do. Do for the love. It's one thing that bothers me about people that admire the elite and look up to entertainers and stuff, but they look up to these entertainers, but yet all they read is the gossip in it. All they read is what are they doing today? What do they look like? How much did they spend on that dress? Gosh, that dress looks hideous on her. It would look better on me. Rah, rah. You know what I mean? Like, or I could actually, more along the thing is I see women go, God, I could never wear that dress. She's so beautiful. My hips are horrible, and rah, rah, rah. I ain't got the tits for that. I ain't got the ass for that, or I don't have legs for that dress. Literally. I don't know, man. My wound is in masculine energy, so I grew up in a house full of women, so I tend to relate to a bunch of women. I totally was, man, like, I live in my feminine qualities because I'm still working on healing my masculine. I have a lot of dad issues. And then what I didn't have in dad issues, I got stepdad issues. and then I became those dad issues when I had kids, because I didn't work them out for myself prior to doing that. It's all of us. If we're not healed, we're passing it on to them. I want to say onto the third and fourth generation, but no, it doesn't quit. It keeps going infinite until you break the cycle. Until somebody breaks the cycle. I hear I'm just the catalyst for that. So I'm here to point things out. It's something I never want to do because it draws attention to you, and I just want peace. I just want peace. But I hear I'm never going to have peace until you people have peace. Love is an easy thing. We all seek for it. But we're not all willing to take the necessary steps, and vulnerability is a huge thing. You have to be vulnerable. And if you can't be vulnerable with yourself, you cannot be vulnerable with others. You have to be real with yourself. And if you can't be real with yourself, you can't be real with others. And if you can't be real with others, it's because you can't be real with yourself. Everything works backwards on itself. Go forwards with it. I can't be honest with people. I lie to people, so what am I lying to myself about? The basis of any arithmetic is picking it apart backwards and forwards. Well, what's the math problem forwards? You'll have your answer for the formula going this way. What's it going this way? You'll have the formula. You've already got the answer right here because you had it in question A. You know what I mean? It's simple. You just got to be willing to analyze things and take time for you. I often find my help when I stop to help others. When I take the time to put myself into things and thought into other things for other people, that's when I received my healing. It's crazy. But that's how it works in this world. Do you do for others? Do you do for just yourself and your kids? Do you do what is only necessary? What is expected of you? Do you do what you expect of you? Do you live by your own standard? How you judge the world, do you live by that standard? Every idle word, Christ said, we will be both judged by and saved by. Every idle word. Oh, no. He said judged and condemned. Sorry. Thank you for correcting me. Judged and condemned by your every word. My every word. I think out loud. Like that rings so true for me. How do you treat others? How do you speak to others? I text a lot, and I realize what kind of trouble that gets me into, because I can say things that I really don't mean in a harsh way, but the way that my mind works, I want to get to the point as fast as possible so I can be really cut and dry, and that can really cut people. When you speak with people, there's a tone, a key. The key is in the tone. How you speak with people is how you will connect with them. That's the level that you connect. If somebody's yelling at you, it's pretty low vibrational, you just go, and you want to shrink into yourself, and you just want to, I just want to get out of here. Are you done yet? I'm the type of guy that'll let you finish yelling it out, just because I want you to get it out, if that's what it takes. Because you're going to feel better, you're going to feel like an ass afterward, but I mean, like, after you walk away, but I mean, like, some people don't even feel like an ass, man. It's just a normal day for them, How do you treat others? Because that is the same measure you are going to be treated and judged by, especially on Judgment Day. When you judge yourself, and nobody will judge you harder than you judge you. We give everyone else acceptance, tolerance, and love, but we never give it to ourselves. No, we can become selfish and start spending our money on ourselves and stuff. We do that a lot. But I want to say we're selfish with our time, our thoughts. We're selfish with our love. Spouses withhold love from one another when they don't do what they want them to be doing. That's wrong too. Christ will tell you that's wrong. It's wrong to withhold love because somebody doesn't act a way that you want them to. Because I don't act the way you want me to, or just because you act the way I don't want you to, doesn't mean that I can't talk to you in a peaceful manner and be cordial and, still understand your problems and still go, when I see you crying on the side of the street, or sitting on the sidewalk freaking out, having a flipping issue, it doesn't mean I can't stop and say, hey, how are you doing? What's going on? How can I still help? We may not be right with one another or whatever, but what's going on? That's love. That's what we're supposed to be doing for one another. It's simple. Love is more than just an energy or a vibration. It's life altogether. It's the very essence of life. It's what makes this whole world possible. It's what makes any of this. It would just be a chunk of rock. We'd be living in caves, man. If you didn't love your family and stuff, you wouldn't be going to work every day. If you didn't love your body, you wouldn't go to work every day. You just go. There's so many other things to do. I'll never call a homeless person a bum ever again. I got a great respect for that, man. That's a hard life. That's a hard life. There's a lot of suffering in that life. It's a different kind of suffering, though. It's like having rich people problems. It's a different kind of suffering. It's still suffering no matter what. In what manner are you suffering, and is it worth it? I am going to go ahead and just let this go because I'm tired and I need time for myself. This boundaries in love. It's how we set boundaries in love. I want to do these videos. I want to be the vessel for the divine to work in this world and share. So, this is what I give, and I just got to learn how to cut myself off. And so that's it. You guys have a wonderful rest of your night, and as well, Shabbat Shalom, happy Sabbath. Enjoy your Saturday. Take time for your family today. Take time for you. Do something nice for you. And do something nice for somebody else. Make their day and watch how it changes your day. It gives me an idea. I love you guys. You guys take it easy and have a great weekend. May you all be healed, sealed, guided, and protected upon your path. In Christ and in the divine ineffable name. Amen. And let it be so.